Yeah, it's fine with me.
Okay, well, welcome everybody. I'm here today, Tyson Racer. I'm the Fisheries and Food Systems Program Manager with EcoTrust. Full disclosure, I'm also an executive committee member with the Local Catch Network. I'm here with Josh Stoll. Josh, do you want to just say hi real quick?
Yeah, hi everyone. Josh Stoll, faculty in the School of Marine Sciences at the University of Maine, and also help run the Local Catch Network out of the University of Maine.
Nice, thanks, Josh. Today we're going to run through the Sale Catalyst session and just provide some information about the program, what to expect, what you might be able to get from it, kind of the logistics of what it looks like. We'll go ahead and get started here. So the goals for our session today, just once again, overviewing the Local Catch Network, who's partnering with EcoTrust to provide this program and introducing the program. We'll talk a little bit about selection criteria and application review, program commitment, expectations. There'll be time for some Q&A, and we'll also discover next steps. We go through this together. So for the Sale Catalyst, sorry, the SYLC is the Scale Your Local Catch program. That was the former name for what is now the Sale Catalyst program. And Lawton, Elliot DeAngelis, who's the coordinator for the Local Catch Network. He is a coordinator for the program. Lawton's currently on leave, and I am here providing the presentation. I'm the other coordinator of this program. Again, Tyson Racer with EcoTrust. So about the Local Catch kind of network program and EcoTrust and that relationship, I'll just provide a quick introduction to EcoTrust and who they are. EcoTrust's mission is to inspire fresh thinking that creates economic opportunity, social equity, and environmental well-being. Our goal is to foster a natural model of development that creates more resilient communities, economies, and ecosystems. Our staff work in food systems, farming, ranching, fisheries and seafood, forestry, watersheds, all sorts of things. EcoTrust was established in 1991 in Portland, Oregon, on the traditional lands of the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde, Clatsop, Nehalem Confederated Tribes of the Siletz Indians, Cathlamet, and the Chinook. EcoTrust focuses its work and serves in communities that are connected by a bioregion, and that bioregion ranges from Northern California to Oregon, Washington, and all the way up through Alaska. The Local Catch Network was established in 2011, and the Local Catch Network is a community of practice made up of seafood harvesters, technical assistance providers, organizers, and researchers from across America who are committed to strengthening local and regional seafood systems through community support, community-supported fisheries, and direct seafood marketing. The network is supported by an executive committee made up of fishermen, technical assistance providers, tribal representatives from the US and Canada, and has institutional support from many organizations, including the University of Maine. The University of Maine recognizes that it's located on Marsh Island in the homeland of the Penobscot Nation, where issues of water and territorial rights and encroachment upon sacred sites are ongoing. Penobscot homeland is connected to other, I'm not sure if I'm going to say this correctly. Josh, correct me if I'm wrong if you know how to pronounce it. Wabanaki tribal nations through kinship, alliances, and diplomacy. The university also recognizes that the Penobscot Nation and other Wabanaki tribal nations are distinct, sovereign, legal, and political entities within their own powers of self-governance and self-determination. And I would say that the University of Maine acts as the kind of administrative arm, the fiscal sponsor, kind of helps hold the Local Catch Network and really enables us to do this great work together. So lots of appreciation for that relationship that we hold. So the history of the Catalyst program, operating a direct seafood business, requires a range of skills and expertise. In many cases, seafood harvesters that participate in direct marketing also need to purchase additional permits or equipment and insurances. These factors make direct marketing, significantly different than selling into a middleman. To help new and established direct marketing businesses achieve their goals, the Local Catch Network is collaborating again with EcoTrust to offer these businesses this business development program, the Sale Catalyst. And Catalyst itself is a nationwide producer-centered business accelerator developed to strengthen local and regional seafood systems and by addressing challenges associated with direct marketing, and by building the knowledge, skills, and networks needed for direct marketing seafood businesses to either scale up their operations, their capacity, or just increase their viability for long-term resilience. And I would say again, like the Scale Catalyst program kind of builds off of a program that EcoTrust used to run, known as the Agriculture of the Middle Accelerator program. That program was built for farmers, ranchers, and fishers in a cohort-based model, learning together. And we've taken that program, adapted it to more of a nationwide model, worked over the past couple of years to change certain elements of the program to more directly hit seafood businesses and programming. And yeah, this will be our third official cohort that we'll be moving into this winter. So it's really exciting for the program. So the structure of Catalyst, the Catalyst is once again, it's a cohort-based program. Typically, we take about 15 businesses into the program, give or take. It is a competitive application process. So we take in a variety of applications. We have a review team. The review team goes through those applications, and in the end, we select about 15 of the total applicants. It is a 3-month virtual business program. Again, that we'll get into kind of the timeline of what those 3 months look like here in a little bit. And something to really note about this is just that the sessions are held weekly. They're on Tuesday and Thursdays, and they're from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, and that goes for 3 months straight. So there's a expectation and a dedication to the program that's needed to really get the most out of it. But it's kind of condensed over the course of 3 months. So it's a great way to really gain a lot of knowledge and also be able to network with other service providers as well as other businesses that are out there. Again, and the purpose, as you can see there, just assisting seafood businesses and refining their business practices, expanding their networks in order to grow their operations, and overall just connecting with service providers, like-minded other businesses as well. So this is a program that's obviously not run by one person or by one entity. This is definitely a conglomerate of really amazing people. So this program, I'm with EcoTrust, of course, as I said. We're helping to coordinate the program. Local Catch Network, helping to coordinate and run the program. But we have trainers that we bring in. I don't do the program. I don't do the trainings. Local Catch Network, Lawton, he doesn't provide the trainings. We're really the glue that holds it all together. So we bring in a series of different organizations and individuals that can bring the skill sets and expertise around each of the session topics that we cover, which we'll get into here shortly. So Orca Design Group, that's Jill Newmeister. She talks about marketing and storytelling. Farm Commons, that's Rachel Armstrong, and she really kind of provides she's also kind of an attorney by trade, so she brings in a strong presentation and considerations for thinking about labor and employment. Great session provided by Rachel. And then CFO for nonprofits, that's Winona Doris. Winona runs the vast majority of the programs. She has a wide skill set across like accounting and taxation, business structure. She's our main trainer. You'll see her the most throughout the program. Wonderful person. Really enjoy working with her. And then, of course, Farm Commons. Farm Commons, they provide, through working with Noah Strauss, he provides a session on access to capital and what that kind of takes, what that looks like, what's needed, what are opportunities he's aware of. A really great session for just thinking about a business as you're scaling up. If you need some extra money, what does that look like and what does it take? And then, of course, Builders Initiative. Just want to mention that Builders Initiative has helped funded this program and allows us to hold this program for free. This program is valued at about $4,000 per participant when you take into account all the time, energy, and everything it takes to organize such a program and pull the pieces together. So thanks to Builders Initiative for that. Okay, so the curriculum. What is this kind of program all about? What do we talk about? What do we get into? Again, so we meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Some of these subject courses go across multiple days. Some of them are just kind of one day. It just depends on what the topic is. I'll just run through these really briefly with you all, and we can discover a little bit more about what each of these sessions entail. So kind of the business structure and entity formation. Through that class, we'll review various types of business structures and discuss kind of the differences and the implications of different business structures to provide the sale cohort and members with a better understanding of the business structure that might best suit their needs. The business structure can influence everything from your day-to-day operations to your taxation, your personal liability, and overall just a smooth continuation of your business kind of as you go on, and especially if you're considering an ownership change in the future. Contracts and partnerships through the session, and that business structure session is a 2-day series. So it'll be like a Thursday, Friday, back to back. Contracts and partnerships. This is actually done with Vanessa Norman, who worked with Davis Wright Tremaine previously, which is kind of a global food lawyer service, does a lot of different things. Vanessa's very well versed in contracts and partnerships. She now works for Danya Limited, which is a native corporation up in Alaska. She'll remain our trainer. Very happy to bring her in. During this course, we'll talk about, of course, contracts and the partnerships, and we're really, the course is all about helping participants kind of determine when and how to use or create those contracts that you might need to help protect yourself and your business, as well as how to receive a contract and look at a contract and think about like what you might want to come back for a counter offer. So how are you using contracts as a tool to protect yourself and ensure you have an agreement with those that you might be working with? Accounting. Again, we'll be getting into accounting. This will be done by Winona. During the session, we'll learn a lot about how to organize balance sheets, income statements, bookkeeping systems. Participants will also become more familiar with various types of financial tools and resources that will be made available throughout the program. That session will actually be a 4-session series. So we go over quite a bit, but there's a lot of time built in for discussion. A lot of questions come up. So these sessions are really intended to be information comes forward to you, but also like you can bring those questions in, you discuss with the trainer, you have time to really throw ideas back and forth and gain clarity on some of your own personal needs for your business, as well as discuss like some of these complex subjects with the other folks that are in the cohort. So really you're learning, everybody's kind of learning with each other and hearing with each other. It's a really neat way to kind of absorb this information and work through it together. Marketing, we'll also be doing marketing sessions. Again, that's with Jill Newmeister. It's a 2-session series. And really, we'll just be talking more about kind of the fundamental skills and tools that'll help you build your brand, communicate about your business, communicate about your brand, communicate about your offerings to a broad audience. While also kind of like staying true to your values and your story and what you want to bring forward. Taxation, it's a hefty subject, whether you use a CPA or you're doing your taxes yourself. Knowing how taxes work, how your business structure works within that taxation is important, right? To help work with your CPA, understand what's going on, or if you're doing it yourself, like there's a lot to kind of uncover, unpack there. So we'll be diving into getting into more of the understanding of the types of taxes, the tax formulations, taxable income and deductions that apply to you and your business. Our trainer, Winona, will help review the main and most important pieces of the tax information that are applicable to kind of our small scale seafood businesses. That kind of builds into, that's some of the heavy stuff internally. And then there's also thinking about what do you do next if you're scaling up your business? Again, Noah Strauss, he'll be working us through the access to capital session. And through the session, we'll gain a better understanding of what you need in order to access credit and capital, as well as various approaches and businesses can take to access capital. So what does it take? Where can you go? What does that start to look like? Noah, help unpack that. Labor and employment. Yeah, labor and employment. Again, that's done by Rachel Armstrong. And during the session, you'll just learn more about the implications of the differences between contractors between employees, and what that means for your business in terms of liability, taxation, worker exceptions, and even kind of building into contracts as well. So it's an important subject as businesses start to grow, or if you're a business that is a harvesting business while also selling your harvest, there's important distinctions between contractors, employees, how you set them up, that can have legal ramifications for your business that everybody should be aware of and thinking about as they get into this work. Um, and then, of course, we'll be getting into insurance, talking more about insurance and just kind of some of the steps that small business owners can take to reduce their personal and organizational risk, including accessing insurance, and just learning about the different types of insurance really that act as a safeguard to your business and to the owners, as well as your employees and your operations. Lots of different types of insurance out there. Some of them are necessary, some of them maybe are less necessary, and it's all up to like your own needs. And Winona does a great job of kind of helping you think through what insurance might be most appropriate and most necessary for the business that you're running. And then, of course, cash flow. We do spend time with cash flow, and we just walk through cash flow sheets together and discuss um, how to use a cash flow sheet and demonstrate its use, and really to just thinking about like what that tool can do for forecasting your business budget and your future business needs as you're thinking about what's coming in the next year, what's coming in the next 2 years, what's coming in the next 5 years, and how do you start to plan for that. It's a great tool. So we spend a session talking about that. As well, kind of intermixed within all of this, we do have open kind of networking sessions. And really, that's up to the cohort to help to decide what they want to discuss during a networking session. It can just be an open discussion. Sometimes there's very interesting things that folks want to talk about. In the past, people have wanted to like dig into crowdsourcing as a way of access to capital and what that might look like. How do you do that? Like, is that something that's applicable? So we spent like an entire session just talking about that. Um, Also, like sliding scales for the food that for the seafood you might be selling. How do you make your seafood more like accessible to lower income folks, but still keep your business afloat? Can you sell your fish for different prices to different audiences? And how does that work? And so we've had time kind of discussing that as a cohort with some people that had some great experiences and skills that could talk about that. So just a couple examples of ways that we connect some of the topics that we cover, some of that curriculum. um, and when we get into the selection criteria, so again, this is a competitive program. Um, and as we accept those applications, what we're looking for is folks that have some tangible experience in fishing and fisheries, business planning or strategy, like finance, maybe some direct marketing. Um, Businesses that identify as like small or mid-sized is really who we're targeting. It's the right size for us and for the content that's being shared. Um, and of course, if you haven't seen Local Catch's core values, please Google that, Local Catch core values. That'll give you an idea of what Local Catch is all about. And we are looking for some like agreement, some alignment around those values as you fill out your application. So the more you can bring those values kind of like forward or at least touch on them in some spaces, it's great for us to be able to look at that as a review team. We're also seeking to engage. We're also seeking and working with and encouraging those who work in kind of like anti-racism or food and environmental justice, food sovereignty activities to kind of help transform the food system in different ways. If you're doing any of that work, highlight that in your application. We'd love to know more about it and who we're bringing in, and some of the skills that people have that can help share with other potential cohort members. And of course, we're looking for folks that are committed to equitable labor practices, community building, increasing access of seafood within communities. And we're really looking for commitment overall. Again, the course is 3 months, Tuesdays, Thursdays, hour and a half, each of those days for 3 months straight. We put a lot of time and effort into the program, and we really want to make space in this program for those that want to put the effort, time, and energy into the program themselves. So really, we're just looking for those owners or the founder of the program or those really like high level managers that can commit their time and space to engaging in this cohort, sharing and learning. That's really what makes this whole thing hum and sing along and just be successful. We also have some like homework. We have an evaluation at the end. So there's a commitment to doing a little bit of homework. The homework isn't always extensive, though you can make it extensive, right? If you don't have a cash flow sheet and you need to build one, Well, maybe you're spending more time. Maybe you're spending more time than someone else doing a cash flow sheet. If you already have a cash flow sheet that you're using, maybe you're not doing as much homework on that particular front. So it's kind of dependent on a business to business basis. I would say overall for the program, um, you can probably account. I think I don't believe we have it labeled here, but we you can say maybe like 60 hours at least worth of work throughout the entire course of the program is something you'd probably expect for yourself. Um, and again, as we're looking at applications, preferences will be given to Black, Indigenous, Latine, um, or other folks that identify as a person of color, um, or women, LGBTQIA, also those that are like serving and working in low income, kind of low access communities to food, seafood products. Again, when I was talking about commitments and expectations, here's more information on that. Attending all the trainings if you can. We realize that you can't attend all the trainings all the time. Life happens, things happen. That's not like a black mark against you, but what we're really looking for is like just general communication. If you can't make it to a meeting, letting us know. We do record each of the sessions that happen. So letting us know that you've gone back and reviewed the video, right, that we made available. So you're caught up to speed, you're caught up with the cohort, so that information, everybody's kind of on the same level as we're moving forward. Just kind of letting us know if you can't make it and staying engaged through reviewing videos if you can. Yeah, and just committing to the homework, filling out the surveys, providing some data to us to just ensure that we're assessing our program and its effectiveness, and you're helping us do those sorts of things. And I guess the second bullet point there's incredibly important as well, just a commitment to engage with the cohort, engage with other folks that are there. I would say that's on par with the information that's being shared is like the other part of it's that networking opportunity to find other producers that have the same kind of shared challenges, struggles, successes, and just being able to really network with each other on that front. It can be really powerful. So if you're interested in applying, application, again, that can be found online through the Local Catch Network website. The application deadline's coming up in just 10 days, December 15th. Please get that application in by, I don't know, I guess it's probably like midnight that day, let's just say. Sometime on the 15th would be great. We'll then go into a review period, and our goal is by January 13th to notify applications of their application status, whether they've been accepted into the program. And shortly thereafter, just like 3 weeks later, we start the program. So it's a really quick turnaround between being notified and getting into the program. So if you submit that application, just kind of be ready. If you get accepted into the program, it's pretty quick. We start February 4th. Program runs all the way through April 22nd for all our training sessions. And then we have a break. But this year is really great because the Local Catch Network is actually holding and preparing for, currently planning a local seafood summit that'll be held somewhere from, I don't know, Georgia to Mississippi. We're still planning it out. But it's a great opportunity to get together with others in the Local Catch Network. Great sessions, great networking, wonderful opportunity to learn and share with a much broader set of folks outside of the SAIL program. So we'll actually be doing like a in-person convening at the local seafood summit for the SAIL program. And then of course, just being and attending the local seafood summit itself and enjoying that whole process together. The only caveat we would say on that is we do cover the costs for that travel. But there's expectation again is that like if you're going to attend that in-person convening, that you're also participating in the program. So again, that's where the communication comes important, that you're staying in contact throughout this program. If you can't make it, that's okay, but just staying in contact, letting us know what's going on with you. Yeah. So if you're an active participant and we're in great communication, then we'd be more than happy to cover costs, bring you out to the local seafood summit. Be a really exciting time. So we'll move into question and answer. Again, if you need to reach out to me personally, there is my email address, tracer@ecotrust.org. Right now, Lawton, again, he's on leave. So it's probably best just to reach out to me. But if you do want to reach out to the local catch network specifically, currently by writing to info@localcatch.org, you'll be reaching Josh. When Lawton comes back on board, you'll be reaching Lawton. So two options there of how you can reach out to us further after today. So we'll go ahead and move into Q&A. That's the kind of nuts and bolts of my presentation.